How are you on this Sunday as I pull up my notes here incorrectly? Okay, there we go. How's everybody doing today? Good Sunday to you all, and I'm so glad to be here, number one, and welcome you, number two. I'm IndiaE, founder of You Are Exquisite, where we educate our emotions, elevate our existence, and empower our exquisite. And let's see here. Take care of this for please like and share and subscribe to the channel. Tell people about You Are Exquisite. If this content moves you, I would love to hear from you as well, as we get into a subject that I tend not to really deal with, and that's kind of the pop culture stuff. I've never really been um, one to harp on that. Other people do it. They do it brilliantly. And so I'm watching stuff just like everybody else, the pop culture world, and what is going on in it. And of course, what we're going to talk about today can, in many ways, it's somewhat universal, whether it's pop culture or our political world or, whatever. It's the energy of being impressed and what being impressed is, and how being impressed can impact the quality of your existence. So, this is an issue that I've always been fascinated by. Um, I tend to write about stuff that doesn't really get talked about a lot. And this is one of those um nuanced frequencies uh, that happens. I believe we all see it, um, but it's somewhat obscure. And the issue, event, and concern about being impressed doesn't tend to get spoken of. And I've always been fascinated with this issue, and the events and issues and concerns that are ongoing. And I'll just use pop culture as an example, but you can, clearly apply the what I put together, the YAE Mini guide on being impressed universally. And but pop culture is such a vivid example of um, um, of that energy right in front of all of us, lights, camera, action. So being impressed, um, and what that energy can ultimately um, do and have power over, which here we tend to talk about the mind, mindset, mind frame, and the mind, and how significant, important, and in my opinion, crucial, mandatory it is to protect it. So you always want to protect your mind, your mindset, and your mind frame. That's like baseline given here at You Are Exquisite. That's in the DNA of the brand. That's what we do. So that's where this issue comes in. Because if one is impressed, then their mind, mindset, and mind frame are somewhat compromised. And in an energy that might not be looking out for their best interest, right? Because you're so impressed that you're willing to not listen to your instincts because of whatever it is that impresses you. So that's what I'm wanting to speak to and refer you to the mini guide, of course, but just in your own mind, kind of take an inventory of what impresses you. Like what impresses you. I know, like for myself, I'm really impressed by someone's character, um, humanity, and the more powerful they are, how much humanity tends to emerge. So that's personally for me, that's what impresses me. The more powerful and the more humane, I find that to be impressive. Uh, but of course, we're living in and through a historic season in our pop culture. Um, and I'm speaking specifically in regards to the Sean Combs stuff and that whole ecosystem of fallout. And of course, the whole world is talking about this documentary, which I have not seen by choice. Because I'm kind of old enough to I was never really super into that genre. I was into like talk radio and stuff like that when all of that was super hot. Um, well, I kind of really wasn't impressed by it too much. So I was, my focus was in another genre of media. I really wasn't like all granular into that world. And so now, what have we, 30 some odd years, however many years it has been, and it has been a few minutes, several decades. And now we see this fallout from this ecosystem, uh, with Mr. Combs in the center of it. And it is, it's painful, even without watching the documentary. Uh, it's painful. For everybody involved. And so I find myself looking for the through lines. What are the commonalities? I know that you can get into this person and that person and this event and that event and this horrific crime and that horrific crime, and all of that. And there are people who do that. They do it brilliantly, and I'm watching as well. What I want to just share with you, in the hopes that we can all just kind of grow from this, like get the lesson. Like, can we get the lesson so that this is not repeated? Can we get the lesson? And so, to me, at the root of the lesson. Now, I know we've got plenty of coverage on the events, the issues, and the concerns. What I would like to speak to is the lesson, the mustard seed, that is a through line. And in my opinion, that has everything to do with being impressed. I find being impressed to be a very serious energy and one that needs inventory. And here, at You Are Exquisite, I highly encourage uh, inventory, self care. Oh, this is my book, by the way. Yeah. So, being impressed. Now, in my opinion, unchecked um, tendencies to be impressed, as I said on the thumbnail, can be dumb, dangerous, and even deadly, especially for women. So I'm asking that you do a little inventory, personal, emotional inventory and just check and make sure that this is in a healthy space for you. What impresses you? Uh, uh, we live in this world of illusion. Uh, I think it's very important that we get real healthy in this area of energy and being impressed. What is impressive? Who is impressive? What makes them impressive? Why are you impressed by that? Is it surface or is it deep? Because my contention is that so much of what the public buys into is so surface and so superficial, and it's truly sad. I've always said that I really believe that uh, everyone should take media training. Everyone, no matter what your vocation, everyone should study television and web production and all of this stuff. And it's even more important now with the evolution of AI and the illusion imagery and all of that. What impresses you? This is very important, and especially for the young exquisites out there. What impresses you? Now you can look and see by my hair. I have been around for a few minutes, so I was really never one to be that impressed in the because I have literally seen, especially women, be lured by being impressed, and which really ultimately led to tremendous drama, stagnation, tragedy, and worse. So this is a very serious issue, event, and concern. And for me, and like I said, I haven't seen the documentary. In a way, I don't even want to. Uh, uh, I'm old enough to, I've been around, so but a common thread is that a lot of people were impressed and wanted to be near that proximity of power. And what a web, apparently, that proximity walked them into. So being impressed, and again, like I said, I've been fascinated with this issue like for years, decades. And so I created um the impressed YAE mini guide, and I highly recommend this. This is an obscure energy. This is an energy that is kind of invisible. We don't tend to speak about it. We are moved by it. We are galvanized by it. The energy acts as a catalyst, indeed, but it's a very unspoken energy. We see it. Have you ever seen the celebrity, like fill in the blank celebrity, like, spin the wheel? And let's say it's a movie premiere. Let's say it's a movie premiere, and they have the stanchions, they have the ropes, the velvet. Yeah, of course they're velvet, the velvet ropes and everything. And some will have like the red carpet. Like I love the red carpet, like it's so fabulous. And then you'll see just this this crowd. I mean, like shoulder to shoulder, like they're all packed in, and they're just like, I mean, they're freaking out because they see the fill in the blank, the celebrity. They're impressed. They are really impressed. I mean, first of all, to get in your car or get on the train or whatever and go to the event. You got dressed. You got in your form of transportation, and you are literally driving to the event to see fill in the blank. Wow. And then of course you have to wait. I mean, the wait is part of it, right? It's like, the wait is the buildup. So I mean, you of course you have to wait. And then they the fill in the blank, they have their throng of like a entourage. And some cats are kind of little. so so like they have a lot of big guys around them, and they're kind of dinky. I always found that fascinating too. The dinky dudes. Uh it is too early for me to be. Anyway, so being impressed, I just find it fascinating. Like for the people that like go to the event and they like and they're all impressed. Like I'm the one watching them be impressed. Going, what the hell are they impressed by? Now some people are impressive. Uh, you know, I've had the privilege of being in the company and at the show of Miss Sarah Vaughan. That's impressive. I've had the honor and privilege to see Lena Horne. Impressive. I've been privileged to see the great Tina Turner. All beloved ancestors now. Very impressive. Exquisite. So there are some figures that have earned that credibility. Not so much these days. Maybe it's me. It might be me. It might be me. I might have it all wrong. I'm open. But being impressed, as I have in my notes here, in a world obsessed with optics and soft living, aesthetics and luxury and high status, women are being spiritually ambushed in many ways. The surface, being drawn in by the surface without objection. You see the surface, it's impressive to you. And therefore, you want to emulate. Like, you ever seen that? Like somebody who wants to look like somebody else. Like they are so impressed that they literally want to look like somebody else. Some have surgery to look like somebody else. Like this is a wild energy, being impressed. Like I'm fascinated by it. We all see it, but it's not spoken about. It's very fascinating, being impressed. Of course. So I'm asking, what are you impressed by? Hey, like, you know, that's yeah, yeah. Yeah, for some people, that's their baseline. That's it. As long as they have that, everything's gravy. It is my hope that, especially in this era that we are in now, and clearly we're just at the inception of this AI era. And so I it's very important that people have their mind frame and mindset clear and aligned, because once you are, down that circle of being impressed, clearly, if you just use the Mr. Combs ecosystem as an example, a lot of people can be drawn into that, and for various reasons. I find it like a through line, like a universal through line. And I'm hoping that just by talking about this, that it helps you get clear on it, so that you are making choices in your best interest, on a clarity rooted alignment, and not a superficial energy of being impressed. Because clearly there is a distinction between the two. So I did a YAE mini guide on this. Uh I really care about this issue. And I know for some people's like it's weird. Like, and it is a weird energy. I would agree with that. But yet it's a very powerful weird energy. And if one is not clear on that, one can be distracted and taken off of their alignment. So here at You Are Exquisite, we're about alignment. Uh, like I say, the ultimate YAE luxury is clarity. So that's what we're about here. So anything that detours that clarity, makes that clarity foggy or obscure or non existent, we want to call that out. And with this particular example, there are tremendous lessons that I pray are learned. And in my opinion, one of them is to be conscious about what impresses you. And are you misallocating a very serious energy in a very non serious area that is not in your best interest? So we all love a good backbeat, myself included. but not if it means I compromise my soul. Being impressed is an energy that everybody needs to take inventory of. And especially in this era that we are living in now. Now, let me drop down to my notes here. I have so much written here. In the YAE Mini guide, because I'm hoping that you will get the mini guide and share the mini guide. Why being impressed is a spiritual vulnerability. I go into that, and it is, because fill in the blank has the Gulf Stream, or fill in the blank has the, whatever, uh, you know, the vroom vroom, whatever, look, whatever. Are you compromising yourself to be in proximity of perceived power? How predators use luxury, access, clout, gifts, and charisma to manipulate. I delve into that. The 10 things to never, ever be impressed by. I mean, I hit them blunt and upfront. How to protect your intuition, your spirit, and your personal power from illusion. Illusion is power. And we all do it every day, right? I mean, we wake up looking rough, and by the time we walk out the door, we're fly. Like we do it every day. Like we practice various levels of illusion every damn day. So being aware of that and conscious of that. So when you come across it, you're not impressed by it. How to reclaim your discernment so you never fall for the performative again. And this is universal. The pop culture ecosystem is just an example of it on a very like a neon optic level. So these figures are so big that when they are compromised, when they fall, the whole world is paying attention to this. I mean, it's fascinating, tragic, horrific, but yet still fascinating. What are the lessons to learn from this? So not another generation has to be subjected to this. In my opinion, at the root of it is being impressed by it. Because when you're impressed by it, you feel like you can't say no to it. So being impressed, I believe, is a very powerful, although unspoken, energy. And I submit, especially to my young exquisites out there. Like I said, I'm, I've been around. Thank God. And so, I now write about, my experiences and stuff, and my observations, and how to use my journey to serve, so that you are accelerated in your to prevent screw ups. How can the older help the younger so that the younger doesn't have to go through what the older went through? Now, of course, you're going to go through your own crap. Of course. That's called life. But are there issues, events, and concerns that you can be educated on so that you can elevate your existence and empower your exquisite? I believe so. And I believe checking your inventory, again, your emotional inventory, uh, on what impresses you, what galvanizes you. What, do you feel the strength to say no? Is there a an energy of desperation about you? These are personal inventory things that uh, are really good to journal. Um, I'm the lady that's obsessed with journals for obvious reasons because journaling helped me. So I know they're effective. So just doing an emotional inventory internally. This is not a loud exercise. This is not something you have to, jump on camera and talk about and all of that. This is something that uh if you are not aware of it, if it is an obscure energy, or if you are aware of it but have suppressed it and just said, "Hey, I'm going to do what I got to do to get where I got to be." All I'm saying is it's evident. So check it. Check that energy because you might not be able to see that it can be seen, but it can be seen. So it's very important how you move out here because being impressed is catnip for predators. So if you're about self-care and self-love and all of that, that's much more than candles and a bubble bath. That's inventory. That's lifting the hood and figuring out where the vulnerabilities are. And in my opinion, this is a big one. Being impressed. Being impressed is a big one. I'm not going to hold you guys long. I wanted to share that with you. Check out the stan.store / IndiaE, and you'll see the impressed YAE mini guide along with other self help and self care and personal development exercises. And I hope that you check it out. And I hope that you look inward. And while the nation and the world is watching this particular individual and the ecosystem that surrounds him. There are lessons to be learned here. So this does not have to happen again. Dear God, please, no. No. Let us get the lesson. So that brilliantly talented, beautiful young people are not caught up in a vicious cycle that was way over their head. No matter the obstacle, challenge, and or noise, no matter what, no matter who, always know you are exquisite. I'm IndiaE. You are exquisite. I'll see you guys on the next video. Check out at YAE Woman on Instagram and YouTube, of course, and stan.store / IndiaE. You all go out and have a great day.